Hi, have you ever wondered why some stories grab you from the very first page and others don't? Today we're cracking open the recipe book on great storytelling, and I'm going to show you those 5 secret ingredients, those essential elements that will make your story something that gets readers coming back for more. First up, characters. Okay, so if we're thinking about cooking up a meal that our readers really want to get into, we want to make sure that our characters are compelling. Because if you think about your characters as being the protein in that narrative meal, we want to make sure that they are filling, right? That they're satisfying, that they so those characters really do need to seem, like real people. How do we do that? Well, they need to have hopes, they need to have dreams, they need to make mistakes. When we think of a character that is compelling, we can think of a character like Star from The Hate You Give. Would she be as compelling a character if she didn't have that initial hesitation before she spoke out? Or a character like Shamara from The Poet X. If she didn't have to balance that need, that desire for self-expression, and balance that with her family's expectations, then she wouldn't be as compelling as a character. So, once again, make sure that you are making your characters as real as possible, and then you'll have a story worth reading. Next up, we have plot. All right, plot. This is the backbone of your story. It really is the structure that we need to pay attention to, right? So if we want to take that food metaphor a little bit further, think about building the plot as building the perfect sandwich. The bread, it's important. It's the beginning, it's the end, it's the stuff in the middle that we're talking about now, right? It's not just what happens, but how events unfold. If we want to think about another metaphor, we can talk about a roller coaster, okay? And thinking about our plot as, building tension, creating suspense, making sure that those twists and turns are there, making sure that we are creating conflict between our characters, that every scene has conflict, because that's really important so that we don't have those dead spots. And just making sure that we have, satisfying twists, satisfying endings, so that readers are kept not just on the edge of their seats, but when we finally let them go, the plot has made sense to them and we do deliver that satisfying ending. So, make sure that you build your sandwich properly and the plot will make sense to you as the writer and to your future reader. Setting. Okay. This is the world where your story lives and breathes. It's where your characters live and breathe. So you need to make sure that it's more than just a backdrop. In some stories, the setting becomes a character in its own right. So how does that happen? Think about a story where, you feel like you're there. That's where the setting has been paid attention to. We can think of Hogwarts, right? Those cozy halls. You can see yourself there. You can see yourself in the gritty city of Gotham, right? The way that the writer has set up their setting uh, uh, propels you as a reader into the story and makes you feel like you're there and that the story is believable because the setting feels real. So don't forget that ingredient in your mix. A theme, it really is the special sauce. Think about the theme of your story as The underlying message, what is it that your story is trying to say? What is it that you want readers to think about long after they've finished that last page? When you think about your theme, is it love conquers all, or power corrupts, or love is corrupt and power, conquers everybody? And what is it that you are trying to say? It's those themes that really transform your story from something simple, a simple story, to something that is profound. So give a lot of thought to what it is that your theme is in your story, because it really can propel it. Style. It's the special spice that makes your story unique. When we think about style, what I'm talking about is making those choices, your word choice, your rhythm. These are parts of your storytelling voice, and it really does make your story your own. When we think about like two examples, uh, Toni Morrison, you know when you hear her powerful prose. Dr. Seuss, you know when you hear those lines, those rhymes, that cadence to his stories. So, style really is what makes your story uniquely yours, and developing it is part of the writing process, and it's an essential element, an essential ingredient to your story. So, those are the 5 ingredients, the 5 essential ingredients to making your story compelling and unforgettable. So when I think about my stories, I make sure that I'm, including all 5 essential ingredients. And when I'm reading, one of the pleasures of being a writer is we get to read a lot. When I'm reading, I like to identify how that writer, that other writer, has put together those essential ingredients in order to tell their story. How are they making those characters compelling? What are they doing with the setting? What is their style? Can I identify it? Can I name it? So thanks for joining me on this journey about storytelling. And share your favorite storytelling ingredient in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you here next time on Idea to Author. Take care.